In today's world, debt is not just a number on a statement, it is a silent predator that stalks every paycheck, every sleepless night, every whispered argument behind closed doors. Credit cards promise freedom but deliver chains. Loans masquerade as opportunity but become shackles, and consumer culture whispers that happiness can be bought while quietly draining the soul. The modern problem is not ignorance, it is seduction, the endless lure of spending beyond our means, the illusion of wealth built on borrowed time. Millions wake each morning already defeated, drowning in obligations they cannot escape, trapped in a cycle that feels eternal. But there is a way out, a blueprint forged in discipline and sacrifice, a path that demands courage but promises freedom. This is not about numbers, it is about survival, about reclaiming dignity, about breaking the cycle before it breaks you. The Total Money Makeover is not a book of theory, it is a battle plan, a weapon against the chaos, a torch in the darkness. And if you are willing to fight, if you are willing to endure, then the journey from debt to freedom begins here. The first weapon Ramsey places in your hands is the debt snowball, a deceptively simple strategy that transforms weakness into unstoppable momentum. Forget the endless spreadsheets, forget the obsession with interest rates. This is about psychology, about building belief one victory at a time. You begin with the smallest debt, the one that mocks you with its insignificance, and you crush it. Then you take that payment, that energy, that proof of progress, and you hurl it against the next debt and the next until the avalanche begins. Imagine a boulder rolling down a mountain, gathering speed, gathering weight, smashing obstacles in its path. This is the snowball. Each victory is fuel, each payment a strike against the chains that hold you. And as the snowball grows, so does your confidence, so does your resolve, until the impossible begins to feel inevitable. This is not math, it is momentum, it is psychology, it is the art of turning small wins into unstoppable force. And once the snowball is rolling, nothing can stand in its way.
Before you can wage war against debt, you must build a shield, a fortress that protects you from the chaos of life. Ramsey's command is simple. Save $1,000. No excuses, no delays. It is not wealth, it is not luxury, it is survival. That emergency fund is the wall that stands between you and disaster. The difference between a flat tire becoming a crisis or a mere inconvenience. The difference between a medical bill destroying your plan or being absorbed without fear. Imagine a fortress glowing in the storm, its walls unbroken, its gates unbreached. That is your emergency fund. It is not optional, it is not negotiable, it is the foundation of discipline. And once it is built, you will feel the shift, the subtle but powerful confidence that comes from knowing you are no longer defenseless. The world will still throw storms, but you will stand, shielded, prepared, unbroken. The world screams at you to spend, to flaunt, to prove your worth through possessions. But the truth is brutal. Luxury is often nothing more than a gilded cage. Ramsey's philosophy cuts through the noise with a blade of discipline. Live below your means, not within them. This is not deprivation, it is liberation. Imagine two paths, one paved with neon lights, luxury cars, and hollow applause, the other a quiet road lined with restraint, leading to a sunrise of freedom. The first path dazzles but enslaves, the second humbles but empowers. Every dollar you refuse to waste is a brick in the foundation of your independence, every sacrifice a step closer to peace. Living below your means is not about denying joy. It is about choosing lasting joy over fleeting thrills, about trading the illusion of wealth for the reality of freedom. And when you embrace this path, you discover that true wealth is not measured in possessions, but in the absence of fear.
Money is not just about survival, it is about legacy, about the torch you pass when your time is done. Ramsey's vision stretches beyond the present struggle into the horizon of retirement, where discipline today becomes freedom tomorrow. Imagine a glowing torch handed from elder to youth beneath a starry sky. That is the essence of legacy. Retirement is not a distant dream. It is the inevitable destination of every disciplined choice, every sacrifice, every dollar invested with patience. To build wealth is to build security, to ensure that your twilight years are not haunted by scarcity, but illuminated by peace. And beyond yourself, it is about those who follow, the children, the grandchildren, the lives you touch. Wealth is not greed, it is stewardship, the responsibility to leave behind strength instead of struggle. Ramsey's plan is not just about escaping debt. It is about building a future where your name is remembered not for what you consumed, but for what you created. At the core of Ramsey's philosophy lies a truth that shatters illusions. Money is not math, it is behavior. The numbers are simple, the formulas are clear, but the battle is fought in the mind, in the habits, in the discipline to resist temptation. Imagine a person staring into a mirror, their reflection shifting from weary and defeated to strong and empowered. That is the transformation this book demands. You do not need more knowledge, you need more resolve. You do not need another spreadsheet, you need a new identity. Behavioral change is the pivot point, the moment when you stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your destiny. It is the decision to say no when the world says yes, to choose patience when desire screams for immediacy, to embrace sacrifice as the price of freedom. And once the behavior changes, the math follows. The debt crumbles, the savings grow, the future brightens. This is the true makeover, not of money, but of self. Ramsey's philosophy collides head-on with Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the clash reveals two radically different visions of financial freedom. Kiyosaki preaches the gospel of assets. Buy investments, build passive income, let money work for you. Ramsey, by contrast, demands discipline first, destroy debt, build stability, then invest. One says leverage debt to grow, the other says debt is poison, never touch it. Imagine two pedestals, one glowing with the promise of assets, the other radiating the power of debt freedom. Kiyosaki's path is bold but dangerous, a tightrope across a canyon where one misstep means ruin. Ramsey's path is slower but safer, a staircase carved into stone, each step deliberate, each victory permanent. The comparison proves this commentary is not blind praise, it is analysis, a recognition that philosophies differ, that choices matter. And for millions drowning in debt, Ramsey's strict discipline is not just advice, it is salvation. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money whispers a softer truth. Money is not rules, it is emotions, it is human behavior wrapped in complexity. Where Ramsey builds rigid walls, Housel paints fluid landscapes. Ramsey says, follow the plan, no exceptions. Housel says, everyone's plan is different, shaped by fear, hope, and circumstance. Imagine two chessboards, one perfectly ordered, every piece in its place, the other chaotic but creative, pieces scattered yet still forming strategy. Ramsey's rigidity is strength for those who need discipline, but Housel's flexibility resonates with those who crave understanding. Together, they reveal the spectrum of financial wisdom, one side demanding obedience, the other embracing humanity. The contrast proves that no single book holds the monopoly on truth. Instead, each offers a lens, a perspective, a weapon for a different battle.
And in this cinematic analysis, Ramsey's strict makeover stands as the iron discipline, while Housel's psychology reminds us that beneath the numbers, we are all human. Ramsey does not leave you with theory. He gives you a battle plan, a 7-day war against chaos. Day 1, audit your expenses. Drag every hidden cost into the light, every subscription, every indulgence, every dollar wasted. Knowledge is the first weapon. Day 2, cut one recurring expense. Cancel the subscription you never use. Downgrade the luxury you cannot afford. Sacrifice one comfort for the promise of freedom. Imagine a calendar glowing with red check marks, each mark a declaration of war against debt. These first 2 days are not about money, they're about identity, about proving to yourself that you can act, that you can change, that you can begin. The journey is long, but the first steps are the most important, the proof that transformation is possible. Day 3 is about building your shield, the starter emergency fund. It is not wealth, it is not luxury, it is survival. Scrape together $1,000, sell what you must, sacrifice what you can, because this fund is the wall that protects you from chaos. Imagine coins stacking into a glowing barrier, each one a brick of security. Day 4 demands clarity. List every debt, smallest to largest, and face them without fear. Write them down, confront them, strip away denial. This list is not a curse, it is a map, a battle plan, a declaration that you will not hide anymore. Together, these 2 days forge the foundation, protection from disaster, and a clear vision of the enemy you must defeat. Day 5 is the moment the war begins. The debt snowball is unleashed. Take the smallest debt, crush it, then roll that victory into the next and the next until momentum becomes unstoppable. Imagine dominoes falling in sequence, each one toppling the next, ending with a glowing piggy bank. Day 6 is automation. Set up savings that move without thought, without hesitation, without temptation. Automation is discipline made permanent, a system that protects you from yourself. These 2 days are the turning point. The snowball builds speed, the savings grow silently, and the transformation shifts from theory to reality. Day 7 is reflection, adjustment, and commitment. The battle has begun. The plan is alive, but now you must look inward. Ask yourself, what habits must die? What sacrifices must endure? What vision must guide you? Imagine a climber reaching the summit at sunrise, arms raised in triumph, the horizon blazing with possibility. This day is not about money, it is about resolve, about choosing to continue when the excitement fades, about embracing discipline as identity. The makeover is not a week-long project, it is a lifelong transformation. Day 7 is the vow to never return to chains, to never surrender to debt, to walk the path of freedom until the end. The journey is not just about knowledge, it is about action, about equipping yourself with the tools to fight back against debt and reclaim your freedom. Ramsey's Total Money Makeover is more than a book. It is a battle plan, a weapon forged from discipline and tested by millions. If you are ready to begin, the link to the book is waiting in the description below, a gateway to the blueprint that can change your life. This is not a sales pitch, it is a bridge, a connection between the words you hear and the steps you must take. Imagine a glowing book hovering above a digital cart, a symbol of choice, of commitment, of the decision to act. The makeover begins not with theory, but with action, and that action begins here. Transparency is not optional, it is essential. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases, and this support fuels the mission of At Best Book Summary, allowing us to continue delivering cinematic, high-retention content that empowers viewers worldwide. This disclosure is not a distraction,
It is a promise, a commitment to honesty, to integrity, to compliance with the rules that govern this platform. Imagine a balanced scale glowing with fairness, each side equal, each side just. The makeover is about discipline, and discipline includes honesty. By supporting through the affiliate link, you are not just buying a book, you are investing in the continuation of this channel, in the creation of content that informs, inspires, and transforms. And now, as the journey closes, the call is simple but profound. Act. Debt is a prison, but freedom is within reach. Ramsey's plan is not easy, but it is possible, and the proof lies in millions who have walked this path before you. Imagine a golden staircase rising into radiant light, each step a sacrifice, each step a victory, each step carrying you closer to freedom. The makeover is not about numbers, it is about identity, about becoming the kind of person who refuses chains, who embraces discipline, who builds a future worth living. From debt to freedom, from fear to confidence, from chaos to peace, the transformation begins not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Your journey begins with a single step, and that step is yours to take.